I'm a robot vacuum cleaner, so yeah, I got one gig. I suck up dirt, so pardon my inferiority complex about Geico, who does so much more. Like, not only could they save their customers money on car insurance, but they got fast and friendly claim service too, and an award-winning mobile app. Plus access to licensed agents 24/7. Who am I kidding? I can't even do corners. Uh-oh, choking hazard.
Popcorn kernels.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head the dirt. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood.
Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me a boom.
He is Jalen versus everybody. What up, doe? I'm David Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in, center stage on the mic.
And we putting it on wax. It's the new style.
We are Jalen Jacoby now on ESPN2 at 2 p.m. What do we do?
Let me clear my throat. We get the people! What they want.
Jalen, I'm so excited for today. This is the day we make our debut in the 2 p.m. time slot. We want to give a big shout to all the executives that pulled the trigger and gave us this opportunity, all the people that work or have worked on this program.
What percentage of the executives
and dozens
do you think have actually watched the material that we produce at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Oh, 0. They might have caught some clips on social or something. But they probably just heard from their sons and daughters that it was good. That's what I think happened. That's what I really think happens. Because I know how this works. In media, it's not just media.
Bring us behind the curtain,
Here's how
sir.
it works is, you know, there's not a lot of 25-year-old executives out there. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of power players that don't have a little salt in their pepper, if you know what I'm saying.
How long have you been an executive?
I don't even know I don't know how you cross that line. You know what I mean? People started calling me that about 5 years ago.
When you start to be an individual that helps form television shows that actually continue to be television shows and they have sponsors, I hate to tell you, that makes you an executive.
Well, here's how it really works is the older you get, you start to lose touch a little bit. But you know what happens? Your kids get older too. So I think the reason they gave us this time slot is because on the way to high school, dropping off the 16-year-old, they say, what's your favorite podcast? Like Jalen and Jacoby. And then all of a sudden, they start co-opting the Jalen and Jacoby brand.
And now when you have your own office and it's 2 p.m, you have a television, you have a remote, and what programming are they watching at that time?
Jalen and Jacoby. But I think for this first week or two, I'm going to start scheduling meetings for important executives to make sure they're not in their office.
I got another question for you, my esteemed colleague. What percentage of those same executives or people that work in high situations in this industry are now watching this program saying, why is he carrying a bat?
Why has he got a bat? Jalen Rose brought the bat back for today. If you're not
Are you going to get any emails about this?
No. If you're not familiar with the program, Jalen Rose used to carry a bat every single time we did a podcast for years and years, 2011, 12, 13, 14, and then sold out right around 2015. Sold out. Didn't want to be carrying a bat anymore. And then brought it back for today. And I'm also going to take everybody behind the curtain on this. We had a technical difficulty. This is the second time that we're recording this intro. You were nervous the first time. I've never seen you so flustered.
Because, I brought back the bat, and it was emotional. I sold out because when your image becomes a logo, you now are able to move on and allow it to live for itself. And for those that are now seeing me carry a bat for the first time, you clearly haven't seen this picture that's been on the wall for 6 years.
No. Mm-hmm.
You don't see Michael Jordan walking around with his tongue out all day and his legs spread.
I'm going to leave that alone.
I mean, those pants are so baggy.
You can't tell if they're spreading
Whose
out.
are more baggy, LeVar's or MJ?
LeVar pulls it off, though, because he has baggy shorts. Baggy shorts look better than baggy pants. And baggy pants are coming back. Don't sleep. I'm starting wearing my pants baggy already.
You must not have seen LeVar's footage on First Take or in Lithuania. He can put his smallest son in those pants.
I try to take in as little LeVar Ball as possible.
I'm watching my dad at all times.
So, we happen to have a debut on Wednesday, which is a special day for us because on every Wednesday on the radio show, podcast, and television show, we celebrate the stronger, more intelligent,
disciplined,
more responsible,
harder working,
kinder,
intelligent,
smarter gender
focus
of this species, the women
the
around the world. And one of the ways that we celebrate them is by taking only female voicemails. So if you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave us a voicemail. If you leave us a voicemail, we will play it on the pod just like this.
Hi, Jalen and Jacoby. This is Tracy calling from the 716. Shout out, Reg. Shout out to my wonderful boyfriend, Christopher, who got me into this show. Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan for that album. They got bars.
I love her.
So, Jalen and Jacoby, I got a soft move or boss move for you. Taking a half day so I can be home in order to watch your show on ESPN2 at 2. Let me know. Keep getting them checks.
Boss move.
Definitely.
Boss move. I don't know what excuse you use to get that half day, dentist appointment, doctor's appointment, sick, whatever it takes. You got to watch the first one at least.
Live.
You got to watch it live.
I'm old enough to remember when the Thriller video was going to be played for public consumption. And I think it came out at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
I remember. And the long version, too, because they didn't play the whole version after a couple weeks or whatever. You know what? What year was that? I'm going to guess like 84, 85? Something like that. I don't have it. We don't research for this. I was terrified of that video.
I definitely was in middle school because I had the opportunity to try to rush home to watch it. And I was really into music, and Michael Jackson is the greatest entertainer of any era. All time. Him turning into a werewolf. When we look back, it doesn't look like that is the cutting edge of, technology, because now we've got Avatar and things like that. But at that time, I was like, Michael Jackson just turned into a werewolf. I don't know how they did that. He's the only artist, and you can test this theory. At a family outing, at a business dinner, anytime that there's music present, and you want to play something that a 90-year-old may like, and a 9-year-old may like.
I got another artist for that too.
Michael Jackson.
Bob Marley, James Brown, also on that list. James Brown, white, black, doesn't matter the gender, the age, the region, the country that you're from. There are certain artists that are just universally accepted, like Michael Jackson, James Brown, Bob Marley, and John Cougar Mellencamp.
I don't know about that last one.
Oh, okay. Well, Tracy, I know you're from the 716, which is the upstate. You're in Rochester, Buffalo. I know you're sad about your Bills, but hopefully you can commiserate by watching Jalen Jacoby on ESPN2 at 2 p.m.
They got rid of Rex Ryan, our colleague who's doing a really good job on TV, made the playoffs the next year.
Sure did.
After not doing it since 99.
If you get rid of me, I'm rooting against you harder than I've ever rooted against anybody in the world.
Keep getting them checks, John Gruden.
Hi, Jalen and Jacoby. What up, though? So I have a quick question. My name is Ashley, and me and my boyfriend, we believe we are a power couple. So our anniversary is coming up soon, and I bought him these fabulous tickets for his anniversary present that's also going to be on Valentine's Day. So is it a boss move or a soft move for me not getting him a Valentine's Day ticket to keep giving the people what they want and keep getting that money?
Oh, boss move. 2 birds with 1 stone. You knocked out the birthday present or the anniversary present, and you've already got plans for Valentine's Day. That's a boss move. Now, you should probably get a little something for maybe even if it's just a king size Snicker bar. You know what I mean? Like a little something just to say, yes, I did get you a Valentine's gift.
It's Women Crush Wednesday. I love you, Mariah Rose. I'll call you in 1 hour, okay?
Shout out.
We're doing our program live.
Jalen's taking another phone call on the program.
I love you very much. Is it an emergency or anything? Okay. I'll call you back in 5 minutes on the commercial. Okay, bye.
Take another phone call, Jalen Rose. Not an Uber driver that time. It's appropriate, though, because it's Women Crush Wednesday. It's the way the world works.
And also, here's the thing. People appreciate transparency. They don't want their favorite personalities or people they follow to be phony. If I only followed this program, I feel like I'm a part of the Jacoby family.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I need a seat in the minivan.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows about my roaches and my daughters and Quincy and my wife and everything. Because I can talk about it because my wife doesn't listen to the show.
And also, for someone that's been available for public consumption for the past 25 years, I've appreciated the fact that people feel so much the same way about me that Jalen has now become a common name. So I'm not going to now be closeted about what's happening or going on. If my daughter called me doing the show, guess what I'm going to do? I answer the phone.
I always ask the same question. Like, emergency? It's like, is this thing? I have a policy with my wife. If you need to talk to me, call. If you really need to talk to me, call twice in a row. And I can't tell you how many times I've picked up that second phone call expecting some sort of car accident, something terrible to happen, and she'll just say to me like, oh, did you know Vanderpump Rules finale is on tonight? And I'm just like, we have a double call policy, Joie. There's a double call policy here.
Do you guys watch This Is Us? I know you don't have time to watch television.
I got time to watch television. Yeah, I usually just watch Jalen Jacoby over.
That's become one of our favorite programs.
I need to get into This Is Us. You co-sign that?
I do.
We'll start. We're in season 3 is about to start.
It started Tuesday night. Yes,
season
indeed.
3 did. So I have to
sir.
watch season 1 and season 2, or should I just start with season 3?
You can start with season 3.
I think I'll do that.
And then once you start to like it, you'll go back and binge watch the other ones.
I don't think so.
Yes, you will.
Sometimes it feels like homework. If I have to watch more than one season to catch up, I probably won't do it. I'll watch This Is Us.
I guarantee you're going to watch it.
I guarantee you I will cry at least once every episode. I cry easy.
Molly's a crier.
I'm a die easy and a cry easy kind of guy.
Yo, we chilling watching the Golden Globes. Oprah get up on stage. I look at Molly. She got tears coming down her cheeks.
Yes.
I'm like, I guess Oprah is going to be president. I'm like, wait. I'm like, well, I guess if 45 can be president.
Oprah has bars.
She does.
Oprah has bars.
And you know what else? She has projects. Like being old enough to remember the legacy and see the color purple to what she's involved to as not only a talk show host, but a multimedia conglomerate to have her own network. I truly want to see her do 60 Minutes. Not here to give her any jobs, but I think
to work on it or just do an interview?
To do the main interviews like Morley Schaefer used to do.
Okay.
I would love. I'm not trying to give her more jobs. By the way. She probably has 500,000.
She's like, Mr. Rose, I'm a billionaire. I don't need an on-camera gig once a week.
I know, but I think that'll just bring a level of validity to the information that they're trying to deliver.
She got her own network. She has her own network.
That's crazy.
What other individual has their own network? I'm trying to think.
One did previously, Bob Johnson.
Yeah, but he owned BET. That's not like it wasn't named the Bob Johnson Network. It wasn't like named after him. I don't think any other individual has their own cable network.
How about this? And you know the answer to this off the dome. I can Google it.
Buffalo.
Can you teach our audience the 6 entities that control the media we consume via television, radio, and podcast?
I can't, but I know it's General Electric, Disney, Viacom, and what's the one that they own? Fox, the Murdoch, whatever.
Rupert Murdoch.
What is it called? Like News Inc. or something? Whatever that one is. Those are like the 4. It's all like a triangle, and those are the 4 points on the 4 triangles that all the other media falls under.
And just think about what we're acknowledging.
And I'm probably wrong. Don't
for those that are fortunate enough. We're really fortunate that you're consuming our program. There are a handful of entities and individuals that consume 95% of media that we take into our brains.
Mm-hmm.
That is a shocking development. If you didn't realize it.
Like you think like, oh, okay, and NBC owns USA Network. Like then you think that's where it ends. Like no. General Electric, like that makes refrigerators and microwaves.
And
they
light
own
bulbs.
NBC. Yeah. It all goes up. And then at the end of the day, it's all just the Illuminati. It's all run by Jay-Z. We know that. We know how it works. Like, I talk about those 4 points in the triangle and everything else is underneath them. On top of that is Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Oprah. That's what's on top of everything.
It is. And that's why I'm getting adopted into a family of conglomerates.
Stop it.
BBB.
Oh, stop it. Buying tickets to sports and concerts can be complicated and confusing. But now there's a better way to buy. With SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets for any type of live event. Whether you're searching for a last-minute deal, planning a night out, or need to find the perfect gift, SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, and it's all fully guaranteed. There's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great value. Recently, I had a friend visiting from out of town. I live in Los Angeles. And he wanted to see Kobe Bryant's retirement ceremony. I knew it was going to be hard to get tickets. I didn't know if I was going to get great value, so I went on to SeatGeek and I got those tickets, and I knew I was getting them guaranteed with a great value because SeatGeek always gives you guaranteed tickets at the best value. It's designed to make your ticket buying experience easier than ever. SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find the best deals. And you get the most bang for your buck. SeatGeek grades every ticket based on value to help you immediately identify the best seats that fit the budget that you have. Plus, every purchase is fully guaranteed. So you can shop for tickets on SeatGeek with full confidence. Make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding the best deals on every type of ticket, from sports to concerts to comedy and theater and more. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter the promo code Jacoby today. That's promo code Jacoby, Jacoby, and you will get $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase. If the people wanted to see us on in the afternoon, that is what the people got. We will now be on at ESPN2 at 2 p.m. The people also wanted to see a little tension, a little competitiveness in their NBA basketball, and they got that last night when the Miami Heat took an up-north trip to face the Toronto Raptors. Things got a little scuffly during the game between Serge Ibaka.
I like that Mob D reference.
James Johnson. Jalen, what does this remind you of?
This reminds me of a moment that I like to call hold me back.
Now, Serge Ibaka has been he mixes it up. He gets involved in these sometimes, but perhaps he should pick a different sparring partner. Let me give you a little information about James Johnson. His nickname is Bloodsport. He has 2 parents. Guess what? They're both black belts. He has 8 siblings. Guess what? They're all black belts. He's got a 7-0 MMA record, and he's a 20-0 kickboxing record. Never lost a fight, Jalen. Do you think Serge knew this when he started this?
Yes.
Really?
No doubt about it, because who you are precedes you. And a scouting report is just that. I know everything about you. I know where you're from. I know your nickname. I know where you went to college. I know your strengths. I know your weaknesses. I know if you like to drive with your left hand. I know if you could drive with your right hand. And I know if you're on the All Dark Alley team.
Yeah, he's on the All Dark Alley team for sure. For sure. If your nickname is Bloodsport, I'd be like, Coach, sub me out. Sub me out. I don't want to cover Bloodsport. If Bloodsport's in the game, I'll be on the bench. No, thank you.
How about the fact that Eric Spoelstra, when you look at the Miami Heat roster, has resurrected so many players' careers that basically were afterthoughts at their previous team? It's been fascinating.
The Heat are 3 games behind the Cavs. Look at the Heat roster, look at the Cavs roster, look at the All-Star game in the Staples Center, and think there's a 3-game difference between these 2 teams.
And this is the greatness of what they've accomplished down there, because so many other young teams in the Eastern Conference, we were ready to give the mantle to who is next. Like the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, of course. Where are they? Oh, they're supposed to be. Oh, the Bucks. They're the team of the future. Well, guess what? The Heat are right there. And they continue to climb in the standings because they won this game. This game came down to the wire. And really pay attention to this. This is another what?
Hold me back!
Later on, your man's Juwan Howard got involved here to break things up. What do you think about your Fab Five brother getting involved?
DeMar family represents the Drew League in Cali. Obviously, Juwan is my Fab Five brother.
Shout out.
Have you ever seen Juwan Howard without a crease in his pants or a haircut? I haven't.
I don't pay that much attention to his pants, but I'm sure that I believe you.
That's what makes him unique. And at 6'9", representing Chi-Town, he's not a hold me back kind of guy.
No, he's not. Moving on. The Warriors aren't just the best team in the NBA. They have the most fun. At Warriors practice, they had music industry legends Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine came to practice.
Dr. Dre.
They were giving the team just some thoughts about business.
Dr. Dre.
Because now, the Defiant Ones are business consultants. What do you think they told the Warriors?
Big shout to Jimmy Iovine and Dr. Dre.
Shout out.
And also my godfather, John McClain, who was the linchpin to the beginning of that relationship. He was the actual gentleman that brought them to Jimmy, that ultimately led to this conglomerate that we're seeing right now. I think it's a smart move by the GM, Bob Myers, because spending so much time in California, he understands the pulse. And these are people that can not only be influential to his team off the floor in the maneuvers that they're trying to get accomplished, also makes them have a level of a cool factor.
Oh, I thought
that's
it was just
awesome.
See, it would make me try harder at practice if Dr. Dre was watching. I thought he was like, man, we got to get up the intensity of these practices. Like, let's invite Dr. Dre. Because I know if Dr. Dre's in the sideline, they're going to go harder during the scrimmage. Do you think KD hit Dr. Dre up for a beat? You know KD wants to be a rapper. He definitely hit him up for a beat. He was like, yo, just send me something off the cutting room floor.
Here's the thing about Dr. Dre. Meticulous. Takes his time.
Well, hey, no,
He's
I want to
only
talk about that.
all-time greatness.
He takes too much time. He's been teasing the Detox album forever. And our colleague, Chris Haynes, was there. He asked Dr. Dre about the Detox album. And Dr. Dre said he's been working on some things. Are you excited for more music from Dr. Dre?
Don't rush greatness.
Rush! It's been 17 years.
When our show starts at the top of the hour, expect me to walk in the studio at 59 and 59 seconds. Do not rush greatness.
Are you telling me what you do on this program is greatness?
I guess.
Okay. It's goodness. Drake.
Drizzy
has long been accused of being a front-running sports fan. He's always got the Kentucky when Kentucky's hot, and, he's with the Warriors when the Warriors are hot.
He hit up a couple of Kings games.
And he didn't change that reputation with this Instagram post. Here he is with LeBron James' high school uniform. But look at that. Look at that. Is that a Steph Curry and the Kevin Durant tattoo? I cannot confirm that those tattoos are an homage to Steph Curry and Kevin Durant. But you cannot represent Steph, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James and not be a front runner.
In Detroit, the OG Trick has something that he calls the no-fly zone.
What's that?
On this show, I have something that's called the no slander zone. And I've known about the career of one, Drake, when he was a part of Degrassi, in T-Dot, trying to make a name for himself, performing at restaurants when I was there as a player.
Is Drake on the no slander list?
He is.
What? Drake's on the no slander list too? This list is getting too long.
One of the fans called you out. He went back and listened to the Jay-Z 22-2s record, and Jay actually did it 22 times.
Well, I also got another fan that said it was 24 times, so we'll continue this debate. But first, Jalen Rose is going to take us behind the curtain. Aaron Gordon was held out of the starting lineup as the Magic faced the Mavs because he violated team rules. Now, one of those team rules apparently is you got to be on time for the plane. Jalen Rose.
Yes, sir.
I've never flown on an NBA plane in my life, but you have many, many, many times. What is it like? What happens when someone is late? And do you think it is just that he was kept out of the starting lineup?
It's something called protocol and establishment and reputation. Of course, you anticipate and want everybody to be on time. When people are late, that means they don't value everyone else's time, whatever industry it is. What ends up happening, however, if you're a future Hall of Famer, and you're all NBA first teamer, the other players on the team, we waiting for him.
We're not taking off. We're not taking off the plane.
I will get off the plane before you leave Reggie Miller. It ain't happening. Not gonna be able to do it. Now, it also depends on the team's accomplishments that year. How do I gauge success?
Realistic expectations.
What were those of the Orlando Magic?
They were very low. We expected them to pick in the lottery.
So that means everybody has to be accountable for their own actions, because as a coach, as a GM, you might get me fired.
For me, if you're Aaron Gordon, you know you're going to be late, just send a couple texts. That's all you got to do, send a couple texts. Another thing is, if you're Aaron Gordon and you're late, you show up to the plane, you can't have a bag of McDonald's with you. You know what I mean? You can't
no stops.
You can't make any stops. You can't show up to the plane with some reading materials and a coffee, and you just picked up one of those neck pillows. Like, come on, Aaron Gordon.
One thing I will say, however, number one, Elfrid Payton needs to cut his hair.
Oh, yes.
It is getting out of control.
It's got to affect his game.
The Weeknd looked at him like, I'm cutting my hair.
Exactly. That's what happened. Like, this is getting corny.
And two, Aaron Gordon, however, his game has improved. In particular, from three-point range, he's their best player. You hope that he's going to be the leader, and you want that guy to set the tone.
Well,
and you got to buy your own flight afterwards. It becomes a nightmare. It really does.
They probably just waited for him, and then everybody gave him a look when he walked on the plane.
Sodium pentothal. That's truth serum. If you gave some to Danny Ainge and asked him, what's his most valuable asset? from his coaching staff to the players on his roster. Brad Stevens or Kyrie Irving? Who do you think he's picking?
Brad Stevens.
Correct. And the way he's developed young players and revamped a roster that's still the number one seed in the Eastern Conference has been fascinating, because all of the things you're saying about the greatness of the Celtics,
yep.
Guess what? You were saying it last year when they had Crowder and Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you have a guy that's going to develop Smart and Rozier into rotation players, lottery picks like Jalen Brown and Tatum into productive assets that are scoring double figures and shooting 35-40% from three. Now all of a sudden you have a talent pool that you can start stirring the pot and move some of those guys.
You've got 10 rotation players on the team, and in the playoffs you don't need 10.
And by the way, wink wink, you don't think Brad Stevens knew that he had a 90% chance to get Gordon Hayward to come play in Boston when he was a free agent? Do you know about the history of their personal relationship?
Yes, I do. They've been friends since Gordon Hayward was about 16 years old.
And because of that, now the Celtics have created multiple assets with their draft picks along with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm just going to put this out here on wax. Those two teams, the way you see them right now as contenders, will look a lot different after the trade deadline.
What are you saying, Mr. Rose?
I'm saying both of those squads have accumulated the level of assets, the Cavs in particular with the 2018 Nets pick, the Celtics, how they fleeced multiple teams over the last handful of years. How about this? Danny Ainge traded 2 players this year that were injured. Have we seen Markelle Fultz?
No, I haven't seen him.
Talk about trusting the process. Imagine if they would have taken Tatum to go with Simmons.
No, I'm not going to let you do this.
And Embiid.
You are trying to tell me
I am
that
telling you.
both the Celtics and the Cavs will look different after the trade deadline. So no, I'm not going to let you get away with this. I'm not going to let you get away with this. What players do you think could be donning those uniforms?
Oh.
Wait, what? I'm sorry. Did I hear something?
Boogie!
So now you are teasing that DeMarcus Cousins could potentially join one of those Eastern Conference powerhouses.
If you're those squads, we argued about this in our NBA Countdown meeting with Paul Pierce and Chauncey Billups.
Shout out.
If you're the Boston Celtics right now, if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers right now, you, sir, or anybody watching this program, you don't give up Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, and the New Jersey pick, or whoever else they want, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, or whatever to get one of those guys. If you're the Boston Celtics, you don't give up Al Horford, you don't give up Jaylen Brown, you don't give up Rozier or Smart to get one of those guys.
Well, I do. Anthony Davis or Boogie is what you're saying.
Correct. I'm going after both of those guys.
Oh, I definitely do that. I definitely do that. Tristan, I love you. I know you're signed to Clutch Sports. We've had countless dinners together. I even accepted the Kardashian-ness of what's going on, but you're going to love New Orleans.
You know that
you're
term,
love New Orleans.
If you shoot for the moon, you fall amongst the stars.
Yep.
How about this? Either way, I'm trying to get one of those game-changing bigs on my roster. The effects, the dynamics of when now we play against the Golden State Warriors. Now when we play against the Houston Rockets.
You're going to cover Boogie with Zaza? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to cover Boogie with Draymond? Is that what you're going to do?
Come and talk to me.
This is exciting. Jalen Rose
the
dropping
best getting
nuggets.
better.
Jalen Rose, not everything is worth discussing in the worlds of sports and pop culture.
Not at all, and we're not going to force topics on this program.
So we have a segment called Keep It Moving.
We be moving, you know, we keep it moving.
If the topic is worth discussing, you will tell me to hit the brakes. If not, me, you, and Method Man will keep it moving. First up, Tom Brady dropped a trailer for a new documentary on Facebook called Tom vs. Time. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Fellow Michigan Wolverine, 5-time champion. Keep it moving.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me say this. I watched the trailer. None other than the great Molly Karam. Her voice makes an appearance. Next, the Washington Huskies mascot has retired after 10 years of service. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Wow, mascot, hit the brakes.
Jalen, here's the thing. This mascot is an actual husky. And this husky has retired from his duties after 10 years of representing the University of Washington. Now that we are on in the afternoon, are you finally going to fill out the paperwork and retire from the NBA?
Absolutely not. You see the kind of money that's going around in professional sports?
Jalen, no one's paying you to play basketball anymore.
If I was close to being a Hall of Famer, I would retire. But since I'm not, never. I may be included in a trade one day.
Now, America's sweetheart, Tua Tagovailoa.
You're a highly trained professional, sir.
Talented. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Mariota's understudy. Hit the brakes.
Okay. Tua Tagovailoa is a nearly professional level ukulele player and singer. Jalen, what are you doing?
Here's what you didn't know. I am too.
You are? Give us a little something. Give us some bars.
On in the afternoon, we will be canned so soon.
Did you prepare this?
So make sure you watch us daily as I sit and play the ukulele.
You really worked on that, didn't you? I didn't know you wrote lyrics. Moving along. Blake Griffin is starring in a movie. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
Here's the thing I want to see Blake Griffin do. Lead the Clippers in the playoffs. Keep it moving.
Okay, we'll keep it moving. A prison inmate was declared dead by 3 doctors, but was only taking a nap. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
What? You got to hit the brakes.
A Spanish prisoner was declared dead by 3 doctors who signed off on his death certificate. It was not until he was at the autopsy in the coroner with the knife out to make incisions on the body realized that he was snoring. What happened here?
Well, a couple of things happened.
He sleeps deep.
Number one, this guy sleeps deeper than Atlantis.
He's a deep sleeper.
How many people have to touch you and move you before you actually wake up?
I know, but they had to put him on some sort of gurney and move him around. The difference in temperature, it must have looked. You can't by the time it gets from hey, is this guy dead to autopsy? That's hours and hours and hours. You sleep in every Uber ride. You sleep in every airplane you've ever been in. You sleep in every movie you've ever been in. You're a sleeper. But I've never looked over and been like, I think Jalen's dead. That's never happened.
This is malpractice.
Somewhere somebody needs to get a strongly worded email.
No question about it.
How about next time before you sign a death certificate, make sure the person's there. Check for a pulse or something.
No question.
Moving on. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
The Greek freak.
Filled rookie Sterling Brown's big old Mercedes truck with popcorn. Keep moving or hit the brakes.
Keep it moving. The way I love popcorn, to see that so much wasted, it's blasphemous.
Finally, a Chinese dating app has been shut down after people learned that most of the women on the dating app were robots. Keep it moving or hit the brakes.
This sounds juicy. Hit the brakes.
You know I have a thing for that robot, Sophia.
I know,
right?
this sounds like
my girl,
this
right?
sounds like page 6 waiting to happen.
This is an opportunity.
Don't get a divorce.
This is an opportunity.
On this topic.
What they did is they created a business that I didn't even know I needed. They created a dating app for men to find robot lovers. I like this. Sign me up for this.
Hey,
this is like Shark Tank all of a sudden. I'm investing in this.
I guarantee you.
Sophia's my girl.
If you were able to look
shout out to Sophia
at pictures of all of these individuals, they look a lot more like you than me. It's cultural.
Nah, they probably look like Chinese people since this was in China. Just throwing that out.
Oh, that's a good point.
That is a good point. But I hope all the robots look like Sophia. Sophia, get at me. Get at me, Sophia.
Shout out.
So we're not going to talk about it on the TV show, so let's talk about a little bit of the pod. Did you see any of the highlights from Lithuania?
I did.
What do you think?
Well, a couple of things are taking place basketball-wise that aren't being covered that I'm going to kind of go behind the curtain
The
for.
Ball brothers are properly covered. I think that they've been covered.
Well, we see the headline, but not the details. The oldest son, Gilo, is 19 years old.
LiAngelo, yep.
Okay. It's not truly being discussed that he's actually competing against 17 and under competition. What? Number one. Because that's where they're playing in Lithuania right now.
I don't think that's a 17 under team.
They're playing.
That's a professional team with adults.
The other day, they were playing against 17 and under competition. They have not played the Lithuanian professional game yet. That's what's being reported, I guess, wrongly.
Well, they're not really. They're doing an exhibition tour.
Boom. And the game that you saw footage of, the people that they were playing against were not adults. Mm-hmm. Those were 17 and under.
There's some adults on the team, though. Their team has adults, because I saw a dude with a little bald spot.
That's one. Two, The youngest ball, while he's
LaMelo.
shown skills as it relates to being able to ball handle, a couple of finishes around the basket, some court sense, you can debate whether this was the right decision, quote unquote, for them to be playing overseas. And here's where I've drawn the line, because I had to separate myself from somebody that was recruited out of high school, played basketball in college, was fortunate enough to get drafted in the NBA. And even though I left school early, went back to get his degree. Like, these are the things that when people talk about leaving early, like, this is kind of the trajectory that we expect all athletes to take. But if you look at the fine print, 98% of the guys that leave early,
they don't go back.
They don't go back.
Sounds
to graduate.
like work. It sounds like work to me. And guess what? I got 7 or 8 numbers in my bank account, so I don't need to show up and go to calculus class.
And so, if you and your family decide your life, work, and business is going to be about sports, in particular basketball, and start that investment, and you have people, 100,000 plus people watching your kids play on Facebook in the afternoon, more so than watching certain television programs, getting paid to do it, and I see the officials wearing BBB on their uniforms, and I see it also on the scores table, that is a win.
Oh, jeez. Can I just I'm from a basketball perspective for a second? LaMelo. He's that dude on your team. It's like, you got to work on your shot selection. Like, come on, LaMelo. Like, I'm watching these highlights or whatever. Like, he will just pull from 28 feet and just miss. You know what I mean? Just like over and over and over. Like that one time he scored 90 or whatever. He was just hot that day. But like, you got to recognize, LaMelo, you know, let's work the ball around and get a shot here.
I'm telling you, Jacoby, what has happened is, respectfully so, he's not a point guard or a shooting guard. Steph Curry is a vanguard. He's the leader of the new school. People aren't on the playground saying, I want to be LeBron, because you physically can't be LeBron. More people are saying, I can be Steph. Look at Trae Young at Oklahoma. And so people are trying to mimic the fact that he can come across half court and just raise up, and it's a high percentage shot.
Here's what it is with LaMelo. You might be the best player in the gym, but I don't want you on my team. We all know that person. You know, they're not all as good as LaMelo or Steph, but it's like, you know what? You might be the best player here, but I don't want you on my team.
And also, LeVar Ball's comments, man, this hurts in free agency. Because I got a news flash for him. They paid Luke Walton $30+ million American dollars to coach their basketball team. He's going to be coaching it next year. You defame him now. Guess what? I don't want to come play for him if I'm an all-star either. Yeah.
And also, Magic's be like, I could just trade Lonzo. You know?
He's not going to trade him.
I don't think he will, but he could threaten to. You gotta look at who has the leverage in this. Hey, LeVar, we asked you politely to stop talking about our coaches. You kept talking about our coaches. Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to level up. First, I'm just gonna ask politely, and then comes the threat.
Hit the brakes.
Okay.
I hate to tell you this, LeVar has the leverage.
Jalen, stop. 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 Just stop. I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
You know why? When you're picking in the top 3, and when you get a chance, look at all of the productive rookies this year. I can name 10 of them. And I've said this since Summer League, that Kuzma is the headline. Lonzo's become the story. Do you think the Los Angeles Lakers brass are going to trade the number 2 overall pick and admit failure?
No.
Thank you.
But what I'm trying to say is, when you are Magic Johnson, you say, look, I've asked you politely. So that didn't work. So now the ball's back in my court. What do I have to do now? I have to escalate what I am doing to make you stop doing what I don't want you to do.
So when you're asking me and begging me, that sounds like I have the leverage.
Because what are you talking about? You're so blind when it comes to the ball thing. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
I'm serious.
What are you even talking about?
The Lakers aren't going to trade Lonzo Ball. It's not going to happen.
I understand that, Mr. Rose. I understand that. That's not my argument here.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
So since you're not going to trade me, what you going to do? You can't find me. You can't trade me. We got a game tomorrow night. You still going to pay me. When the starting lineup is announced, guess who's going to be out there?
Jalen, the idea that in a conversation when two people are at odds, that LeVar Ball has more leverage than Magic Johnson and the Lakers organization. If you're going to continue to argue that, I'm going to cancel today's show, and I'm going to cancel every single show forever. I'm never showing up to the show again. I'll leave right now.
So here's
Take it
what,
back.
Here's
Take it back.
Here's what.
Take it back.
All right. So
Take it back.
I'm going to give you a chance to look at it a different way. The Lakers' next game. How is Lonzo going to be disciplined for what LeVar did?
Nothing.
Or said?
0%.
Okay. If I'm not worried about what you're going to do, you just talked about it with the kids the other day.
I'm in a bad mood now.
You can put me in timeout. Guess what Chloe and Margo going to do?
You're in timeout.
What is Quincy going to do?
You're in timeout, Lonzo.
Instead of playing with my brothers and sisters,
put LeVar on timeout.
I'm going to go in my room and play with all of the toys by myself.
You're in timeout. Jalen Rose, you're in timeout for this ridiculous opinion. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. We will always leave you with a dope pod to step to. We will always make exclusive content for our podcast listeners because we will never leave you behind now that we've completely sold out and are on ESPN2 at 2. Please support the movement. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell your friends to subscribe to the podcast. Leave reviews. Leave ratings on Apple. And make sure that you DVR Season Pass Jalen and Jacoby on every day at 2 p.m. Tomorrow, we have a special guest.
We do?
Our colleague, our friend.
Who's that?
Katie Nolan is going to be joining the show.
Oh, awesome.
So look out for that. Shout out to everybody that worked on the show. Shout out to everybody that gave us opportunity. But especially a shout out to you, our supporters that have been with us from day one. The people listening to the podcast every day are my favorite people. If you see me on the street, come say what's up.
We're not done. We're not done.